Hey guys, this is Zara, of course, for Trans Youth. Yeah, alright, so this week's topic is trans dating. And that, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, but, dating as a trans person. Now, I can't really speak for trans men, of course, because, I'm sure it's totally different for them. But, it's pretty crazy, and I mean, dating is always crazy, but, we've got a few extra things to worry about. I guess one thing is that, for some reason, trans porn is super popular, so there's this idea in any guy that's okay with a woman who's trans. I think they would, maybe not any, but a certain amount of them would have this idea that we're very sexual, I guess. But, at least for me, I know that's not the case. I'm not saying I'm not, but, not getting into that. But they have higher expectations, I guess, is the idea there. Now, in my experience, a lot of guys that have shown interest in me have ended up only wanting sex from me. And that's not really how I do. I'm not just the kind of person who's just going to go and sleep with someone and then just be done with them. I mean, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that I have done that, but I'm trying to get away from that. Yeah. And from what I hear from other trans women, that's a common problem. I mean, it's a problem for any woman in general, because there are a lot of guys in general who only want sex. And I'm not saying that, that guys are bad or anything, but I guess at that time in their life, that's the only thing they're looking for. And then women tend to be a lot more looking towards the future. Women don't really, you don't see a lot of women who are just out there just to fuck. And from what I hear from friends of mine, they don't want to tell the people in their lives that they're dating a trans woman. And I mean, that's... At first, it's kind of understandable, especially if it's something that they've never dealt with before, because it takes time to really learn about it and everything. But, at some point you're gonna, especially if they're someone that you're really into, that can't go on forever. There's just no way that can work. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following me, I have yet to have a boyfriend. I'm 22 years old now. 22 and a half. And, yeah, I've been single for 22 and a half years. Now, I have had my fair share of sexual partners. But still, I want something more than that. I think I finally have found a guy, though, that likes me for who I am, I guess. And he doesn't mind the fact that I'm trans, and he finds it sexy that I'm so independent and not caring what others say about me or whatever. So he's a great guy. We're not dating yet, but I'm seeing him. So, yeah. Hope that goes well. I'm sure I'll keep you posted. And when you meet a guy, for example, and they find out you're trans, in my experience, there are two common reactions. One is that they're gonna call you a freak and, go off somewhere. And the other is that they're going to be super into it, which, depending on the person, you may like that or you may not like that. And I'm the kind that doesn't like that, because what I mean by super into it is they like you for the part that you have between your legs. I mean, if you're post-op, which means they're a chaser. And I don't want a guy to like me for that. Well, I mean, I don't even want a guy to go anywhere near that area, so that's completely out of the question, but, if that floats your boat, then whatever, but that's not for me. So I want, as this guy that I've just mentioned, I want to find a guy who is okay with me being trans, but doesn't like me because I'm trans. Simple enough, or it seems to be simple enough, but really it's not. And also, maybe it's not for everyone, but with me anyway, I have this fear of kind of putting myself out there. So, and if you know me in person, you'll probably know that I have, like, social anxiety issues. Like, I don't do well in groups or crowds or anything. And I'm kind of a loner, to be honest. So, with someone like me, where do I meet people? Especially, I wouldn't be able to go into a bar and have a guy come chat to me and then go back to his place just like that. Not saying I want to, but if I did, I would still have a lot of I'd still be pretty scared about doing it, because especially they would take me back to their place and then they would find out that I'm trans, and then you never know what could happen at that point. In a perfect world, they wouldn't care, but you never know if they're the type that's going to be violent or anything, and if they have a gun hiding somewhere, it could end up being a bad situation. But yeah, so I don't know, I guess you gotta try and be safe, but at the same time, you have to take risks in life, right? If you don't take any risks, then nothing good will happen. Like, nothing bad will happen, but nothing good will happen either, right? But you just gotta learn how to do it safely. Like this guy that I have mentioned, I met him online, and I know a lot of people still don't like meeting people online, but in my case it worked, because the guys I've met in real life haven't been for me, I guess. And I don't know where I would meet people that would work with me. I don't know. Ugh, rant over. But yeah, alright, so this is Zara for Transi's channel, of course. If you have any questions, just send them to us. Same old, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Have a good night.